before we start this video, I want to give a big shout out to my KOG members of the month, Blue Cat and Run2127. You guys are awesome, just saying. If you want your name here, consider hitting that join button for exclusive channel benefits. How's it going, guys? RNG Life here, and today I'm showing you guys the potential of Rikka Fairy. Now, Rikka Fairies are a new archetype from the new box, Antinomic something. I don't remember, dude. I've been working on these decks for like 3 days, or 2 days actually, since the day it came out, and yesterday I kind of went all in, focusing on just a bunch of research, a bunch of different trial and error things. As you can see from my card history, I've been trying out a lot. I've been doing a lot of things, and I actually have 3 different decks to show you guys today, because this deck is very versatile. You can mix it with a lot of things. The basic idea is you use the Rikka Fairies, the large ones tribute the small ones, and then when tributed, they get effects. When summoned, some of them get searches, and so on and so forth. They have an amazing searcher that basically says you can activate it, and it just searches whatever, replaces itself for 1 card. Or you can tribute a monster of some. I think it's actually just, you can tribute 1 plant type monster. It doesn't even need to be one of them. You can tribute the carrot if you want. So you can tribute a plant, and then you can get 2 searches of the same level with different names. So if you were to be searching that and then you pick 4, you can actually pick up a 4 that is a Rikka. So you can go for one of these small level 4 Rikkas, and I use Primula and this one over here, Cyclamen. And actually you can go 1, and then the second one can be either the other one, or it could be the carrot. In this particular build, I have 2 other decks to show you guys, so dude, I've been putting in a lot of work into these, so I hope that at least deserves a like. So leave a like, dude. I never beg for likes in my videos, except for like the very end, but that's kind of standard. Nobody watches till the end. I did not get super lucky with this deck. I just kind of bought 1 box. Snowdrop over here is amazing. She's really good, but she only works if you have another not a fairy. It's so deceiving. But they're plants, but they're called fairies. It only works if you have another plant monster in your hand. It doesn't have to be a Rikka Fairy. It could be anything. It could even be some like weird one-off like giant plant monster for no reason. You can do that. I actually was trying to use a build like that, but I didn't like it. It was too cloggy. Those cards don't really have anything they can do on their own, so if you draw them, they're usually a dead draw, unless you have her. Now, if you have a build where you use like 3 copies of her, then probably, yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can run whoever you want, because she can summon herself and somebody else onto the field. She can choose levels, so if you really want, if you summon her and a level 2 or a 1 or something like Rose Lover. By the way, this is pre-nerf, so this isn't free from the ban list yet, so I have to run only 1 copy. But yeah, if you go for these early on, you might get screwed. You might get just completely messed up by a single like Karma Cut or something, so I usually don't like doing that. Also, this deck is okay with having multiple monsters, and then you tribute them with Ballista Squad. This is a card that's really good in this deck, especially if you're using this card over here, Rikka Flurries, which is amazing, and it makes the deck so spicy. Let's talk about the individual monsters. I got this girl at 1. Unfortunately, only got her at 1. I got 2 copies of Mudan over here. She's alright. I think she's okay at 2, but I kind of want to run her at 3 now. I really want to see a full power version of this deck. Probably be like 2 or 3 copies of her, and then 3 copies of her. Probably. I'm using 1 copy of Rose Lover, 1 copy of Helibore, the Rikka Fairy. I'm only using these 2 because they could potentially do stuff in the grave. I just wanted a build where I can use them from the grave. That's why I'm using the card Miracle Fertilizer in this deck. If you don't have this, you don't really need it. Don't worry about it. Just run more support cards if you want. Just run a 3rd copy of her if you want or something. But yeah, so these are basically just activatable from the grave. You usually use them in the grave. They come back onto the field in defense, and if they leave or whatever, they get banished. Usually once you bring them back from the grave, that's when you want to overlay so they can go right back into the grave, because otherwise that's the only way to get over their little condition. 1 copy Carrot, 2 copies of Cyclamen over here, who's really good, because once you tribute her, she will come back on the end phase, so she's pretty good. But then the next time she does get banished forever, so rip. If there was ways to like actually just play off the banish pile, I think that'd be really nice as well. But I don't know, dude. I've already worked on 3 different decks. I think I'm good. Then there's Primula, who's really, really good because she gets summoned when you tribute something. So, cool. That's that pretty much. I think that's the whole deck. I use Econ, I use these cards, and that's the control aspect of the deck. You use those to tribute stuff, you control your opponent's stuff so they don't beat you up. And yeah, this is pretty good for destroying back row. If this is combined with Rikka Flurries, this can basically say take out a monster and a back row, or 2 monsters, however you want. But yeah, this is the first deck, and as for the extra deck, I'm using this guy, Heliopolis. I'm using Ptolemy M7, Constellar M7. He's pretty cool. I actually really like going into him. I can actually go into Hope Woven Dragon Spider Shark, which is really awesome. This guy's pretty cool for like trying to go for game. He stops monster effects. This is okay. He's a plant, so he works with this. It's the reason why I pretty much am running this in the first place. But this gets over a problem monster, and then it burns them a little bit, but it's not that great. She's alright. I don't go into her as much as I probably should, though. She is pretty good for, like, if you've already set up your board, you can tribute, and then every time you tribute, she gets to revive a monster. She's like a monster reborn, but she revives it with an effect negated. So, there you go. And she can revive it from your opponent's grave. So, that's also pretty cool, because that can stop them from bringing back a Blue Eyes or something. So, that's the deck. Without further ado, let's go ahead and show off the replay. I will be kind of talking you guys through it. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so, this is a game against a Seto Kaiba player. We're gonna go by these pretty fast. Why does it always change my language, dude? It always changes my language, but yeah. So, Ultimate Dragons was his things. He was going full Blue Eyes, full shenanigans. Now, at this point, I basically had all the search cards, so I was like, I have the best possible hand that I can get. I summon a monster, I summon the giant one, and then that gives me like the most power that I can probably ask for. I can search another copy of the Searcher, I can basically activate Flurry, or I can activate Search Flurries, whichever one I picked. But this is a really, really good board, and then I also have I set a second one just so they can think I have something, like an Econ or whatever, but, so yeah, so then this is where we start popping off. We go M7. M7 can now bounce, we can attack, and it's a little bit dangerous because we don't know what they have. But we can go for a straight up just add an Erica. So here's the thing. He's got Countergate. I planned for this, though, by searching Erica. Because I can attack with one. The second one gets a power-up, not in damage step, but before. So that's a little bit slow as well, but that is pretty good as well. So as you can see, the deck has some potential, some OTK potential. I don't know what my opponent was like. I guess he's playing Blue Eyes, but he didn't really have that much of that strong of a board. But to be fair, we had a really amazing board. So let's go ahead and show off the next game with this deck. All right, and we had another Blue Eyes. Surprisingly, there's a lot of Kaiba. There's a lot of Blue Eyes in ranked. Now, if you might be asking me, you might be thinking, can this deck do well against the meta? I think the archetype is a little slow. With the support that we got at this current point, with the deck at pure, just only using Rikka Fairy and plant shenanigans, it can do okay, but I think Blue Eyes just power creeps this deck insanely. I don't think the deck can stop Blue Eyes. But we are gonna do whatever we can. So in this situation, I can search the Carrot. Carrot is usually really good to have because if I can get him in the grave, we can start doing a lot of stuff. Because Carrot is my way of getting my grave monsters in the grave. So there we go. We get to summon some monsters. Pretty good. We have a nice board just to bluff a little bit. We have Econ here, so if it's a little dangerous, we can stop him. I like Miracle Fertilizer, because you can actually just play from the grave and stop summoning things. You don't have to worry about summoning. That's why I like Carrot as well, because you can use Carrot to discard from your hand, you give up all your normal summons, and you start doing all your plays. Now, he's doing this. He, for whatever reason, used United We Stand, not realizing that he can't target his monster, powering up my monster, and I was like, alright, thanks, bro. But yeah, so we actually went for the Rikka Queen on this one. So the reason why is I have Miracle Fertilizer, I have not normal summon, so I do get a free summon, and we have to pass because we cannot use Econ yet. On his turn, though, he is going for the revival. At this point, I just didn't want him to have 2 monsters, so I stole. And then he summons his Blue Eyes. I did have a plan for this because the card we set was a Ballista. So we get a revival every time we do your thing. She's negated, doesn't really matter. Would have been nice if I got her effect, though. So now I can use Ballista, tribute his monster that I stole with Econ to take his own monster out. 2-for-1 special. Very, very nice. And I get to also just keep my monsters. So we summoned our boy. We go level dupe. We get to make him a 6 as well. Overlay once again. This is a full-on Xyz game. So now we get to bounce back. And the only thing that can stop me now is any of those hand traps. The hand traps are actually kind of annoying, but yeah, we went all out for the OTK strat on this one. We managed to actually take him out. No Kiteroid, no Battling Boxer hand trap, and that is the power of this deck. It basically is made to just try to OTK, try to do what it can, and that's pretty much it. Let's show off the next one. Okay, and this particular build is all about that whale, dude. We're using the whale, but we didn't really whale that hard to get these cards, so I don't know, it's contradiction. But we are still using the Rikka Fairies, we're still using their archetype, but we've mixed them with Citadel Whale, Mythic Depths, Sea Stealth Attack. So we're gonna have the power of Umi. We're gonna have all our some control stuff. We have Sea Stealth Attack to basically say every time we summon a level 6 water or a level 8, so we have any of these monsters, we have the power to just completely shut them down with SSA, and it's a pretty funny meme deck. I really like using it. After like a lot of debate, like I twisted this deck around a lot. I was making it I made it a full-on synchro deck at some point because Xyz are not levels, so they do not get any benefit off of Sea Stealth Attack. So that's my original idea, was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna run all these synchro monsters, but it just clogged up the deck way too much. Running tuners in here was really just difficult. It just made it really impossible. I was using Fishborg Launcher in here. It was alright. You can try it yourself if you like, but I just didn't really like it. It also has to be a water, so it has synergy with him, and there's like very few water tuners and stuff that work with this that can actually special summon. It got a little complicated, it got a little bit convoluted, because I need them summoned for my actual monsters, so I can actually bring them out and tribute and do my thing. So, in this deck, it's pretty straightforward, same thing. Fortunately, I don't have to go into too many details breaking down how the deck works, because I already talked about it before, so if you stuck around in the beginning, you know about the deck, you know how it works. Only difference is I am running 2 MST in this one, and I got a glossy one, so a glossy one's nice. But yeah, that's my backward destruction in here. I'm still using Ballista. Ballista's really nice with this deck. But yeah, not really much has changed aside from all the synchros and stuff that I took out. But yeah, so this deck is now focusing less on the Rikka Fairies and all their shenanigans, and I'm trying to use Citadel Whale and his protection to do stuff. I also try to go Sea Stealth Attack, so that games might be a little bit longer. I did have a game that was like 40 minutes long. It was really obnoxious, and I ended up losing in the end. And then I was like, oh wait, I shouldn't run synchros. So yeah, let's go ahead and show off the actual replays for this deck. Alright, this is game number 1. We have the power of Mako right now. So like I said, a lot of Kaibas. Dude, everyone's running Kaiba. That's the thing when Konami makes a deck a little bit too strong. You just see nothing but that deck in ranked. So yeah, what did you expect? So yeah, this hand was a little bit slow because we didn't really have, I mean, it's not too slow, but mainly what I'm trying to do is eventually draw into my whale or SSA, and then we can just control with just Mudan. She alone can stop them. If they have no backward destruction, then they are screwed. They lose the game. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So I'm doing the plays. I went for the Snowdrop. Snowdrop is awesome. She does all her things. I went for flurries, activate it. I set this one to bluff. I always do that because you wanna, if you activate this alone, they just kind of like, oh, whatever. But if you have another one set, they're like, oh no, they contribute. I'm afraid. So here we are going for a slight tap at their life points. We were like a little bit cautious with 3 back row. I figured, you know what, I'll hit them with Primula. They're going for that. I get to destroy back row, and Flurries gets to hit their thing. They get to tribute, steal one of my monsters, tribute my monster, which is completely fine because we got rid of both an Econ and their boss monster. So I'm completely happy about that. Activating my search, I go for my monster, 1800 attack uninterrupted, and yeah, we're good. I didn't need to set this. I didn't want to set it because you didn't want to lose it, because now I kind of need it. But there is my Citadel Whale. We finally got him. We get to pull off the memes. We summon the whale. He's gonna Karma Cut like a fool. It's been a while, dude. He negates. So that's the beauty of Citadel Whale and why I wanted to bring him back, because I was like, dude, there's so much targeting. There's so much single, like, targeting destruction banishment in the game. Citadel Whale is amazing. And he's just like, nah, dude, I'm out. I could not stop him with the Karma Cut. It was too much for me. That whale was pretty good, dude. So there's the power of the whale. Let's go ahead and show off the next game. Okay, and this is a Pegasus player. If I remember correctly, was this the Toon guy? Was this the Toon guy, dude? Yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah, he was going full tunes. Or was he? No, no, no. I did have a Toon game, but I don't know if I included it. Let's see. So I have this hand. We already have Whale, and that's really nice. I'm going for a nice, like, slow play. I'm MSTing his back row. I'm like, nah, dude, I don't want to worry about whatever you have. So now we get to pop off. We have 2 monsters, Citadel Whale. He protects himself, and that's really, really nice. I have that, so cool. I have the nice established board. He's got Kiteroid. Oh yeah, this is definitely Toons. I remember this. Alright, so this is a pretty good game. He went for content. He's got Toon Kingdom. Oof. Alright, now he's got his Toon Kingdom out. I was expecting some Dark Magician Girl memes. I was like, you know what? I'm going to activate my thing before he can do anything. He's going to summon his protagonist right now, which is the Toon Summon Skull. I did not expect that. I did not. He cannot attack on the first turn, so I'm safe for 1 turn. So we are trying to do as many things as possible to stop this guy. I actually went M7 and then realized, oh crap, I can't target his monster. But I had a nice backup plan to recover my monster, so I can use her next turn. My idea was that I want to use M7 twice to recover both of them. And yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to do. So we attack, we crash, we make him banish some cards, get rid of him. He pays life points to deal 2,500. This next draw is super important, and I happen to draw a Ballista Squad, which is exactly what I needed. I needed one of my 4 destruction cards. So we're setting up all our things. This is just in case, like, you know, extra. Maybe he summoned an extra monster, and then I'd be worried. So we're gonna just make him mill a bunch of cards. This is just to hurt his deck. Maybe we banish the Dark Magician Girl, and now we don't have to worry about her. So, and I got my search with him, so I didn't need him anymore, so I crashed him, made him banish an extra cat. He's going for a card. He's going to search Mimic Cat, or use Mimic Cat to get my MST. I'm just chaining. I didn't want him to do anything weird. So I just got rid of his Toon Kingdom, got rid of the Summon Skull, and that pretty much handled that. He has my MST, so he went ahead and no, he didn't destroy it. The Rikka Flurries dies when it has Whale on the field, but that's fine. So he's gonna MST my Umi. I can protect that though because we came prepared for that. So yeah, and that is where we can start going hard into his life points. And at this point, I think we basically got him because it looks like his deck was focused on just Summon Skull, which is weird. It's interesting because usually you go Dark Magician Girl or maybe even Dark Magician, Red Eyes, something like that. But I don't know. So I went ahead and searched the Rikka Fairy Erica. She's really, really good to have for certain reasons when you're attacking and you want to debate. I wanted to check for damage step here. This is where I learned that you cannot use it in damage step, by the way. I was like, wait, she doesn't work in damage step? And I was a little bit annoyed, but I was like, fair enough. You get 1 more turn, Pegasus. And he had nothing. He honestly had nothing, so it didn't really matter. I'm just doing extra stuff because I want to show off the power of the deck, and GG. That's pretty much what this deck does. It establishes a board where they cannot stop you because Citadel Whale is unkillable. Your Mudon is unkillable as well. And then you just tag out the level 4s so he can never really touch you. And if he was using MSTs, now that everybody's using those and they're like, oh, I don't need Galaxy Cyclone, I'm going to use MST. Then you get debated because my SSA completely stops that. So there you guys have it. There's this deck. Let's show off the last deck. And this is the last build that I have for you guys today. I think this one might actually be my favorite, just because of the power that Chimeraphlasia and Predaplants add to this deck. Now, there is some actual synergy with these cards because we have monsters that are plants. So I said, screw it. I'm gonna throw in a plant engine of all the Predaplant monsters in here, and we're gonna go balanced so I can run more than 20 cards. Now, the whole reason why I'm running like a 24 card deck is because I had to run things so I can match balance. So I had to run things like an extra copy of this. I had to run, well, actually, I think that's when I was like, oh, wait, I should run this card for more spells. I took out Econ and stuff like that, and I ran Predapractice. It's a really, really good card, so you can start doing all your shenanigans. I said, screw it, I'm going to run Karma Cut. Karma Cut is still a really viable card, even in this deck, because one problem this deck has is that you run out of cards in hand really, really fast. So that is one of the things it has. But yeah, we're still using these monsters over here. We're still using Rose Lover. Rose Lover has extra synergy in this deck because you're using all these plant monsters. I am actually still running her. I'm running these guys over here. Just these two, but I'm using 3 copies of this guy because he is the fuser. You need him. He is basically polymerization. You summon him and you fuse from the hand. If you can actually pop off with Spidonia, whatever name is, and you can give him a counter, you can potentially use their monster, but I don't really need that. I'm using him as a 4th name, so I can fuse these 2 and then fuse these 2. That's basically all I need. You can run more of these if you want, but I don't think you really need to because you can actually search this guy. Isn't that crazy? You can use your Rikka Glamour to search. If you pick up level 4s like this girl over here, Primula, or maybe even this one, who I'm running at 1 in this deck, you can pick up this guy as well, and he can be your 2nd name for Predator Plant, so you can summon this guy and then fuse. It's a really, really sick combo, and I really, really like it. That's probably the reasons why I'm just like, you know what, I really like this deck. So yeah, it just gives you the power to be super aggressive and overpowered in this deck, and just control with power, because all these other cards are a lot more technical. This one also kind of technically does that. He's kind of like a power play when you get your 4s out, but this guy is just insane, dude. He's so easy to make, and he's just super overpowered, and he's gonna bait out some kind of destruction, so they're immediately gonna have to use Karma Cut or something on him. And then by that point, hopefully you've managed to recover your resources so you can start popping off with the rest of your monsters and actually go into the extra deck. So that's this deck. I'm still running most of the same stuff, and yeah, that's the deck. It's using balance. Let's go ahead. By the way, this is pre-nerf. So the whole, like, I think it's going to be, like, I think we can't special summon on turn 1. That's going to suck. That's going to really hurt this deck. The first turn play is going to be, like, we're going to have to set something or whatever. So this deck might not be working after the nerf or whatever. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Go check out the games, though. Okay, so this is a Bandit Keith opponent. I saw Bandit Keith, and I immediately thought he was using Desperado. I was like, oh, no, how are we going to handle Desperado? I don't think you can, honestly. So I'm really hoping that nerf just takes him out. So, yeah, especially, I mean, you see Bandit Keith, you see, what's his name? The Arcana Force guy. They both kind of use him, so I have my pretty good hand, actually, because we get to search for the card we need. We get to summon the Big Whammon, and she gets to summon 2 monsters. It's really, really nice. We got an extra searching glamour for next turn. I set the karma, and bam, we're all set. Now, here's the thing. I don't know what my opponent's playing at this point. He's got Necro Valley. He's got full on Throne. I was like, oh no, I don't like this. So yeah, at this point I was just like, all right, I see what we got. I might have to go aggro on him right now. So we're gonna use this. I go for the Xyz. I'm using the effect of Snowdrop to make them both 6s. I summon M7, bouncing their monster. Now I use this card over here to simply just search 1 card that I need. A normal summonable 1800 beater to make it quick and easy game. That's all I needed, and then boom, just for extra effort, get that Eric over here to boost them up as well. So there you have it. This guy didn't even get to show off his deck because we completely popped off. We completely wrecked this guy, and that's the power of balance. It just gives you so much consistency. But whatever, next game. And this is the last game. We got Arcana over here as our opponent, so I immediately was like, oh no, dude. Dark Magician in 2021. But yeah, so let's go ahead and show off what we basically started off with. I got my balance, so I can always trust in balance to help me get the hand I need. This is a pretty good hand because if you get her plus a glamour and a control card, oh, you're looking pretty good. Now, he's got the simple set 2 pass. I drew another glamour, so that's pretty good. Now I don't have to worry about searching the other copy of glamour. I can actually search other things. So we're gonna go for her. Just summon as many monsters as possible, so bam. Going for the Mudon search, I search the Flurries because Flurries is amazing. Activate Flurries, I set that, and this time it's not a bluff, we actually have the Ballista. I went for the Ballista, we're destroying back row, and now he has to get rid of one of our monsters. Turns out it's Gravekeepers, and I am so glad because I do not like fighting Gravekeepers. So we're gonna go for just searches, and we can actually pick up the second, not Chimera Plant, we can pick up the second Predator Plant. I recently rewatched Hunter x Hunter, so that Chimera arc, dude, it's insane. It's also really long, but it's so good. So now we're doing this. tributing his monster away, and we can go ahead and summon the other little fusion boy, summoning the giant monster, attacking directly, dealing some nice damage. At this point, I'm kind of running low on resources though, so he's got the set. I feel like I'm gonna regret attacking that, but I have no other plan. So attack, bounce, of course. I knew it was gonna get him either a search, a summon, or a bounce. So I was like, fair enough. I need to do whatever I can to not let him have monsters. So here we actually picked up the perfect card. We picked up this guy, and we get the nice search as well to get the second fusion. So we managed to do it. Go for the fusion. Second copy of Cameraflasia. I still don't want to risk the other monster attacking. So bam, Wall of D to limit my attack. I have 900. If he battles me, he's still screwed, by the way. So he doesn't want to. Sets back row to potentially bluff, and I get to pop off. I set that card just in case. I battle, and it was game. I actually managed to take this guy out. That back row was nothing, dude. I didn't have to worry about it. But yeah, it turned out to be just full-on Gravekeepers. I've been fighting a lot of Gravekeepers today, weirdly enough. So there you guys have it. Let me know which deck that you guys enjoyed the most. I just generally like the balance build. But I'm just a big fan of balance, and now that they're gonna nerf balance, it makes me a little bit sad because I don't know, dude. It's balance is the skill that just makes most decks good. If all these other decks had balance, they might actually be stronger. But rip, dude, rip balance. It's gonna be gone soon. So let me know which one you guys like the most. So which one are you guys playing? Remember to leave likes, guys, because I don't ask for that enough. I really don't, and I should, because it's probably killing my channel. It's probably killing my channel because I just never ask for people to like, except at the very end. But that's kind of like a little like outro. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much that. And if you guys enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Duel Link shenanigans. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today. Have a great day, and see you guys.